Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Kavalan Port. Dustin, as we know...
Solist Port.
Solist Port, forgive me. Dustin, as you know, we love this distillery and all their wood finishings. This particular one being port, one of your favorite types of wood to age whiskey in.
Well, try not to be biased, guys, but try.
Yeah, this particular one is a 2017 bottling. This particular one is 7 years and 1 month old. Well, I assume it's 1 month.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, slightly over 7 years old. So an older Kavalan. Poured you a little heavy, so I'm going to give me just a small extra kiss. This
I don't mind a little extra.
This one's getting low. I'll give you a little extra.
You know the nice part about this whiskey, Mike?
Cheap?
Very, very affordable for Kavalan. About under $150 in the UK.
59.4% ABV, and for the sake of transparency, this is cask number 01009010224A. If you didn't hear it the first time, play it back. Dark whiskey.
It'll be in the description.
Yes. 7-year-old Kavalan port, always a great compliment to a whiskey, Dustin. It's rare that you get the whole... Is it the whole time in port?
Yeah.
For this particular one?
First fill, full maturation. That's what soloist means. Outside of the U.S. And in the U.S., soloist means something else because they can't legally use the name.
Yeah, we all cast strength here. Whatever. Yeah. All right, Dustin, let's get into the whiskey. Big, sherry, punchy port. Dark plum.
Just
sugary dark plum.
Dank plum, brown sugar, black sugar.
Old Forest honey.
What is that, like, what is that black syrup?
Black syrup.
Molasses.
Oil, yes, molasses.
That's what it is. It's got molasses in there. Nice oak still in there, but yeah, this is very port forward.
Wow.
Ooh, I'm getting brown sugar in there now.
It is very sugared, very dark, very, very date raisin dense.
The alcohol is very noticeable on the nose. It's not sharp and biting and hurting, but
it's there.
You know there's a lot of alcohol.
It's hard when you go into the Glencairn. The deeper you go, the more it's almost like the pressure of like deep sea water. You know, it's like, wow, you really got to dig in here.
Your body instantly switches over to breathing very lightly when it's next to this thing.
59.4. 59.4, it's a big ABV.
Yeah, very big.
And this is a intense cask influence. This is so rich.
Yeah, I mean, there is kind of, again, the pastries, the sugars, the stuff you get with single malt scotches. And again, Kavalan is a very sweet, forward malt.
It is. Sweetness is here, but this is heavily, heavily cask influence, even for this distillery.
85-15. I'm being nice. It's 85% port, guys.
This is a bomb. This is a port bomb.
Yeah. I mean, some people are obviously going to nose this, taste this, and probably their first thought's going to be, can I get some single malt with my port? I get it.
I tell you what, every time I go to this whiskey, I'm like, woo, that's dense. And it is dense.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me a little like that Springbank fresh port, where it was just intense. Like fresh port really can add a level of intensity to whiskey when it's full maturation.
It's so sweet. It's such a sweet smell, port in general.
It's so
but good. It's so thick, too.
But it's got that like funkiness that port gets with age. It's an aged port, for sure.
If this analogy makes any sense, it is the stout beer of cask maturations.
It's the Imperial Stout, Mike. It's not just the stout. It's Imperial Stout.
Yes, the Imperial Stout.
This is Bourbon County Stout level.
This is a commitment to get into. This better not be your first whiskey of the night.
No.
Or the first cask strength whiskey of the night.
Oh, what's the term for end of days? Whatever that is, that's what this is.
With nuclear. Woo! But nothing is something that is not enjoyable.
It's like the dark winter or something. Yeah. The fallout.
Yeah, the fallout. Winter Soldier.
Oh, man.
All right, so very aggressive cask influence.
Yes.
Very sweet, very sugary, very, very sugary. But everything is very dark, too. It's very dark and very sugary. Old Forest honey, golden syrup that was left out overnight, beehive that has a hole in it and is running out the side.
I almost even get a hint of a graham cracker note here.
You're searching.
Of course I'm searching.
Right.
I just said it's 85% port. I'm trying to give the people a little bit of an idea of what the malt's doing here. And,
it's getting overwhelmed.
Sometimes I bring up like kind of pie crust, burnt crust, kind of with the Kavalan malt. This one is a little brighter, a little more golden. So a little bit kind of like a graham cracker note.
Yeah.
What's that graham cracker cereal that had like obviously the kid cerealized it, so they added like extra sweetness to it.
Golden Grams?
Yeah, kind of a golden graham kind of a note.
I love Golden Grams.
Just.
All right, I'm going for taste, man. This is just, it's a lot. I'm not getting a lot of those notes. I'm just getting a lot of sweet, dark fruits, dark honey.
Yeah, nice oak.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad you said dark honey. I actually had missed that one altogether. It's plain as day right there, dark honey.
Mm-hmm. Almost comes off like an old Balvenie dark honey wise.
Yeah. Just
it's
Balvenie's never used the first fill cast like this.
No, well, like the old tons, like the old ton 1401s.
Yeah.
Like this is like specifically batch 8 Old Forest honey, or excuse me, batch 9 Old Forest honey.
Yeah. Thought you were going in for a taste.
Yeah, but
let me go in then.
No, I have a story. So that's what I like about this distillery. It will pull in some of the best notes from a Macallan, from a Balvenie, from a Highland Park. Even say from like even Klein Leash, and it will show up in one of these malts, and we're like, how'd you get here? Like what portal did you what alien technology did you use to show up in an overly sherried sugary port?
Yeah.
Where you at, buddy?
I mean, it's port in your face. It's intense. The alcohol's turned up to 11. Viscosity's 12.
You're starting to sweat.
I literally am. That's only 80% the whiskey. But there is this golden barley graham cracker thing I got from the start to the finish, all the way through, that I usually would just kind of say it's the oak. But there's something really nice going on here that's keeping this from being just pure port. Oh, Mike, it is still a port bomb. It's intense. Oh man, but it doesn't go super grapey. It doesn't go super into like those dark fruits. It brings in more of the sweetness, the molasses, the brown sugars are there.
I totally disagree with you. It is so sweet, so sugary, honey sweet on the palate, and as soon as you swallow, it gets purple port. It is that grapey finish. It is Dimetap as soon as you swallow. Even a little bit on the finish. It's kind of crumbling and breaking away now. It's kind of sashaying into milk chocolate. But as soon as I swallowed, grape, Dimetap, purple crayon. Not the waxiness from the crayon, but you know what I mean. It's like this. It's big and as bold as any huge cherry, grapey bite I've ever bitten off on the end of a whiskey.
Oh, no.
It is thick. It is rich. It was so coating. It was almost like NyQuil. As dense as that whiskey was.
Oh, it's denser than NyQuil. Come on.
And it is just an all-encompassing experience.
Yeah.
I get none of the graham cracker crust. I get nothing other than sweetness, fruits, honey, and grape.
I mean, I actually think the graham cracker is in that honey you're tasting. Because when I say graham cracker, I'm talking those like honey grams where, I mean, it's like, again, I'm saying honey with it. Or golden grams, but I think used honey for the sweetness.
That was the honey.
Yeah. So
that was the golden.
Yeah. So it's golden grams. So I'm getting that honey. I'm getting that kind of toasted cereal note there. Now, it's not the showcase. It's the one thing that's not. Grapey, Dimetap, molasses, sugar. You're right, with water, Mike, I did get the grape notes a little bit more. Well, sorry, a lot more. But still, there's so many other sweetnesses here. I mean, this thing is just super sweet, super intense. I can add a little more water. We're just gonna.
Buddy, I added water. It just becomes more grapey. Yeah. I can't get out of it. It's like a fog. You watch Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Remember when Frodo put on the ring and he was in that Wraith world? Imagine that Wraith world was fucking grapes. Excuse me. Imagine that Wraith world was grapes. That's what this is. I'm in a world of grapes.
Oh my goodness.
Grapes and sugar.
It's very sugary.
And I can't get out of it.
I love that grape. There's even like a little bit of like port funk. There's like a funkiness to port, man. It's there. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Now, I do get a little bit of the Kavalan sweetness and maybe just a little bit of a citrus note. Just a twinge of it.
Now that I've added a lot of water, I am getting citrus in the finish. Actually, a lot of it. I went back and put more water in if you saw. Yeah. I mean, it's such a big whiskey. But yeah, the citrus is definitely here.
Yeah, because I'm getting no graham cracker. I mean, I love golden grams. I would love to get that note.
It's less graham cracker and more the honey from it, but it's got that cereal note. But that's the only cereal I can think of that's quite in this realm. I'm not smelling the graham cracker much at this point, but I'm going to go and see if I'm still tasting it.
Okay, with water, I just get more grape. I'm just lost in the darkness of grape. It's midnight. It's grape o'clock at midnight, and there's no moon out. I mean, it's amazing.
It's super. It's like if you added honey to honey grams.
There is honey.
It's very it's that slight twinge of barley and grain that's there from the cereal malt.
Yeah, I have an idea. I cannot find it.
I mean, it's there. I'm telling you, it's there. Anyway,
yeah, I've seen the light switch. I just can't find this light switch anywhere. So sometimes when my girl, I was like, "Hey, what do you mean by that?" She'll talk louder. I'm like, "I'm not deaf. I just don't understand what you're saying." Like, I get it. I get what the note is. I'm like, I
hear your words.
I don't find it at all.
Those words in that structure do not mean anything to me.
Like, I don't know what's at the bottom of the ocean. There might be gold there, but who knows? I can't get to it.
Man, this is just epic darkness.
All right, I'm going for one more drink with water.
I gotta go for another one before I can score this.
I wish I had something else to say. I'm just going to say the exact same things. I mean, I toned it down some, but I mean,
I'm getting the Kavalan malt, and I'm getting a ton of grape, and I'm getting a ton of honey.
A ton of honey.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great whiskey. You sent me on this wild goose chase for grams.
I'm telling you, there's a grain note here, man. Anyway,
all right.
It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful whiskey. But as you guys probably picked up from what we were just saying here, this isn't super complicated. No. In fact, it's one of the simplest whiskeys we probably will ever bring you. But also the best simple whiskey I will ever bring you.
Port bomb.
Yeah.
It's a rarity.
And so, me, my biased port self, I want to give this a higher score, but I am going to give it a somewhat begrudging. I want to go a point higher. I'm going to give it an 88 because it is just simple. And it's kind of coming up a little lacking. It's a little hot. It's maybe a little more sharp. God, it's good though. It's so good. I love it, and it's a very affordable whiskey.
$88?
130, 140?
No, you said you're in an 88.
Yes, 88 is my score.
It's just $88. You're in an 88, yes?
Yeah, you said $88. I'm like, no, if I get this for $88, I'm like, I'd have 6 at home.
Okay, so...
10.
Yeah, we disagreed on portions of this review, for sure. There were things that you were getting that I was not getting, and it's reflective in our score. Mm-hmm. Because...
You went 90, really?
I went 90 on this one.
Because you loved that.
Because just like a sherry bomb, a port bomb is just as interesting. Now, I would have to spend too much of my time trying to find, going for your wild fish on your crazy stories. But what this is, when you're talking huge port, huge grape, I understand what we're saying. We're saying this is a bomb, a port bomb, a sherry bomb, regardless of what it was. It was super sugared. It was high ABV. It was a lot of what it was given, and I love that in whiskeys, as you know. Mm-hmm. I would absolutely buy that for $180 or whatever it is. And just like with any Kavalan, it just had enough sweetness to counteract what a crazy aggressive cask was doing.
These are cheaper than those sherry bombs we were getting. Same price or cheaper.
Such a good whiskey. It's not as good as those.
No,
those
not quite,
ones.
but...
Well, not even close. But it's still a big... I'm 4 points lower than that. You're 6 points lower than that.
Yeah.
Point is, it's not that type of whiskey. But for someone who likes port... See, that's the difference. I like anything done to an extreme. I don't care if it's a sherry bomb, peat bomb, you know what I mean? Enough. Whatever it is. Even in bourbons, you know what I mean? If high ABV, big hitter, something like that. And any big hitter that delivers on what that cask maturation and that flavor profile should be at a big ABV with good linger and sugary sweetness, and it's enjoyable, that's a 90, buddy.
Yeah. I was looking for... I kept trying to use that Golden Graham thing to sell me on giving it a 90, because that's the score I initially wanted to give this whiskey.
Sure.
And then I said, that's really not enough. And I'm like, it's too sweet.
When it's that rich, it is.
I need a contrast note in there, even big sherry, because they use
that's what's
a big Oloroso sherry bomb. Mm-hmm. They hit you with a little bit of dryingness from the sherry and the chocolate fruitiness up front. This just it's just sweet, 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 and we're going to give you more sweet.
Sure.
It never has even a little contrast there, and that's why, to me, I had to ding it a couple points. But I love this whiskey. I'm going to buy more.
Yeah,
I absolutely love this thing.
It's a big, huge, bold whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, I could argue it's a 92 in my enjoyment level, but from a scoring standpoint, I don't know.
It's a great whiskey.
Yep.
It's great. At the end of the day, is a sugary, sweet, dark honey, dark fruit bomb. And you know I like that. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, again, I don't know why we both don't have more of these already. I just haven't gone. The only problem is the places I like ordering from that get me whiskey very quickly don't have this. I have to go to some place that's going to take 6 weeks to almost 3 months to ship it.
That's
why I haven't bought. Also, I mentioned this. I have this bottle. Remember, we did review a pick from New Jersey, which was also a Solist port.
Yes.
So this isn't our first time with the port. That one was like $250.
This is the best port one.
This is cheaper.
Yeah, this is one of the best port ones I've had.
This is incredible whiskey. Man. So good.
And the ABV does drive the experience to a large degree. I mean, I'll give it that, but it's got backbone.
It is 60%, basically.
It's got backbone.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on it. Dustin and I are a little bit different about this, but we're getting different things out of this whiskey.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting as much grape as Mike is, believe it or not. I said grape a lot, but I'm not getting as much for sure.
I like right now, my score. We want to know what you guys think if you had a chance to try this whiskey. And Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy drinking.
We'll see you then.